lot of great movies came out last year, and now I'm going to talk about some of them. Here are my top 10 movies of 2024. Number 10, Nosferatu. Robert Eggers was the perfect choice to do a remake of one of the oldest horror classics, and I'm convinced he can do no wrong at this point. Nosferatu is dripping with atmosphere and consumed in a thick, looming cloud of dread. Everyone from Bill Skarsgård to Lily Rose Depp to Nicholas Hoult is bringing their A game. This movie isn't just freaky, it's freaky. Number 9, Inside Out 2. The emotions are piled high literally in this case, as when Riley becomes a teenager, anxiety and a bunch of other emotions enter the picture. Joy and the others are left wrestling over control. I really like the way they portrayed anxiety in this movie, similar to the way they portrayed sadness in the last one. And it all leads to a very satisfying, emotionally impactful ending. While I still prefer the first one, at least we can say Pixar finally made another great sequel. It took them 14 years. Number 8, Challengers. From the writer of Potion Seller comes an addition to the short list of sports movies I actually like. I'm usually not a huge fan of Zendaya, but this is easily my favorite performance of hers, and I wouldn't mind if she got nominated for Best Supporting Actress. But the two male leads are what really make this work. It's electric, steamy, and almost makes me interested in tennis. That is an accomplishment. Number 7. Transformers 1. I already made a video on this, but it's worth repeating. Transformers 1 is great and did not deserve to bomb. It's got everything a Transformers fan could want without leaving non-fans in the dust. It keeps getting better every single time I watch it. Except the Bumblebee scenes, those still suck. Number 6. Anora. This movie is one part fairy tale romance, one part screwball comedy, and by the end, you still feel like total shit. I almost didn't recognize Mikey Madison in this, mainly because she wasn't set on fire at any point. I don't usually predict the Oscars before the nominees are announced, but she's definitely winning Best Actress, for sure. Number 5, The Wild Robot. I think I lost count of the number of new colors that were invented specifically for this movie. This is what DreamWorks needed after the disappointment of Kung Fu Panda 4. On top of looking phenomenal, it's got a really likable cast of characters and some of the biggest heart stabbers DreamWorks has ever given. I'll always be patient with DreamWorks' inconsistency, because I know that for every lukewarm pile of cat vomit they put out, eventually we'll get a movie like this. Number 4, Hundreds of Beavers. This is a live-action Wile E. Coyote cartoon that you watch after chugging a bottle of NyQuil. It's nothing but visual storytelling and physical comedy, and as the scale shoots up, the sanity craters. Easily the funniest movie I've seen all year. And the best part? You can watch it for free on YouTube right now. So what the fuck are you still watching this for? Oh yeah, top 3, I guess we can get into those. My top 3 movies of the year fall under a category that I call holy fuck movies. All my favorite movies of years past fall into this same category as well. By the time the credits roll on them, all I can really say is holy fuck. That said, my third favorite movie of 2024 is... I mean, it's Dune 2. What can I possibly say that everyone else hasn't already? It's one of the most breathtaking, immersive sci-fi movies I've ever seen. Everyone from the director to the cinematographer to the actors to the editors to the set designers was firing on all cylinders throughout the entire production. Much like Zendaya in Challengers, I wasn't a huge fan of Timothée Chalamet before, but this convinced me that he's got the stuff. It's only stuck at number 3 because, well, it is part 2. You will have to watch the first part in order to understand most of what's happening. Not that that's a problem. Dune Part 1 is also incredible, but the top 2 tell more complete stories. Number 2, The Substance. This is a different kind of holy fuck in that it's one of the most insane movies I've ever seen, but in a good way, not a bad way like Megalopolis. It is beautifully disgusting in all of its spine-splitting, shrimp-slurping, tit-puking glory. You couldn't keep the demented smile off of my face. Okay, before we wrap this up, here's some honorable mentions. Thelma, Monkey Man, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Rebel Ridge, The Shadow Strays. I debated for a while which movie to put at number 1. Both Dune Part 2 and The Substance could have easily taken the top spot. But when I thought about it, there's really not a single movie that came out this year that made me want to rewatch it the second it ended, quite like this one. My favorite movie of 2024.
Pure yourself.
Take everything that made Dune 2 so epic and crank it up to maximum. It is 101 flavors of total badass. I heard people were disappointed that this wasn't another Fury Road, but it really shouldn't be. We already got our big epic chase, now we get to focus more on the characters and world building. Furiosa herself is great, Anya Taylor-Joy is fantastic in this, but really every character in this is entertaining and memorable in some way, even the minor ones. But standing above them all is Dementis. Easily the best Mad Max villain and the best performance Chris Hemsworth has ever given. He's a delight to watch, whether he's bold and intense or sniveling and pathetic. On top of that, the action we do get stands right alongside Fury Road in its visceral, high-octane, adrenaline-fueled, crazy-as-fuck intensity. How is George Miller 80 years old and still directing the most face-melting action you've ever seen in your life? And unlike Dune Part 2, you don't need to have seen Fury Road to understand what's happening here, since it's a prequel and all. However, the way this movie ends, you could easily watch Fury Road right after as a near 5-hour action epic. But I can't honestly recommend you do that because the human mind can only handle so much adrenaline at once. And that's about it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in your nightmares tonight.